Lior Suchard, the mentalist, is with me. What's up? How are you, Lior? Most importantly, are your family and friends healthy and safe in this COVID-19 crisis?
Yes, we are safe. We are in Tel Aviv, Israel. We're doing all right. We were actually better. I'm talking about the country. Then we started wave two.
Hmm.
We're starting another mess, but we are working on that as well. How are things in India?
Well, not very bright, but like you guys, we're working on it one day at a time. But at a time like this, it's wonderful that you're going online, and it must make you very happy that you can reach out to your fans around the world, especially your fans in India, and do these sessions online.
Yeah, let me tell you the story. First of all, I don't know if not many people know, but I've been in India more than like 70 or 80 times
That's right.
before. I've been all over the place. I've done shows. I had my first in India. I was the pioneer of the big public shows with Ace Production with Ralph Adamsi, and we did the shows in Delhi and in Mumbai and all over the place. It was sensational. It was unbelievable. When the pandemic started, the most important thing that was missing was the audience, the fans, the
That's right.
people that are enjoying my acts. So I started to create to think, how can I create ideas that can work through the screen, that can break through the screen to people at home that I cannot touch, and sometimes I cannot hear, sometimes depends on the situation,
Yeah.
and amaze them and blow their minds through the screen. So I was sitting like a week, night and day, and I figure out a way to do it. So now it's a tradition. Now we're doing the first ever virtual interactive mind reading, mind blowing sessions with the audience, and it's just very, very exciting.
Now, it's not something that's very easy to do. Most of what you do, the illusion, the magic, is very person to person, people to people. So you've had to actually go back to the drawing board and come up with a whole bunch of illusions and tricks for the online world, and that couldn't have been easy, Lior.
Yes, now just to tell you, basically, these are not illusions and tricks or magic. It's more about the power of the mind. So
Right.
if you were talking about the drawing board, I actually have here a drawing board here. I'll write a message for you,
Yes.
and sorry for the handwriting, but can you? I hope this is right. Can you just tell me? Put the marker down. Can you tell me a two-digit number, whatever you want, a two-digit number?
Okay, so I'm going to explain this to people who are listening in pure audio.
I
Lior,
wrote.
the video guys can see it, but people who are listening on audio, I want to
No,
tell
but
you guys, he's taken a
first,
paper and he's written
yeah.
you on it, and he's
I,
turned it
I
around.
wrote another message. I wrote another message. I wrote a surprise. But first, just tell me a two-digit number, and then we can explain what happened.
Sure,
Just say it
let's do it.
randomly.
Two digit number. You want me to say it or keep it in my mind?
You can say it. You can say it.
24.
That's a good number. I wrote here. You will say 24. Can you see? Now we can explain what happened. I actually wrote it before you said it.
Yeah, he had a piece of paper and he wrote you, and then he turned it around and he said, Say a number," and I said 24, and he turned it around and it says you will say 24. That's nice. That is
So what does
nice.
what it makes you feel through the screen is pretty amazing, right?
It is. I mean, who would
Yeah,
have thought?
cool.
So how does this work? I mean, do you take illusions that you already do and adapt them for the online world, or have you created absolute new illusions?
So first of all, I don't really call them illusions. I call them experiments because
Yeah.
I'm at the essence I'm not a magician. A magician does doves and napkins and card tricks. I am a master mentalist, which means that everything that I do is connected to the mind.
Hmm.
So I take aspects of the mind like memory and nonverbal communication and influencing people and reading people and body language reading and psychology, and I take them all together and I create special acts that I based on that. If I influence someone or reading people, And of course, I add a lot of humor and fun and create this experience.
So come on, do something else with me now.
do you have do you,
Amaze
do you
me.
have do you have a watch by any chance? Do you have a
Yes, I
watch?
do. I'm wearing one. Yeah.
Can I see it through the screen? Can you show it to me?
Yes, I'm showing Lior my
Oh,
watch.
is it the digital or analog?
It is analog.
I know. Can you take it? Let's do it together. Take the watch. I will take mine. Take the watch.
Okay.
Take the little how do you call the crown the thing out.
Okay. Now I don't know how to do that because this is both digital as well as analog. So it's
Can
got
you
the buttons
can
in
you
there.
move the so let's do it with your imagination. Hold the watch like this
Yeah.
so you can see
Okay.
the time.
I'm holding
All
up.
right.
Yeah.
So what is the time right now at you? What's the time that you're looking at?
It is 11:53. 11:53.
Okay, you see how accurate you were. You were very, very accurate to the minute. Now I want you to just count from 1 to 5 for me. Count from 1 to 5. I want to listen.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay. No, it's fine. I think now imagine that you would tell me a completely different time. I'm going to set this watch. You can see me turning this. I'm going to set it to a completely different time. And if this works, this should be amazing. I think this is a good time. Look at your watch and just imagine a random time. It can be any time on the exact minute. And I'm holding it just like this. I'm not going to move the watch. I already set the time here. I'm going to listen to you. What time are you imagining? Give me any random time that you want. I don't care. The hour and the minute. Any random time.
Do I say it to you? Or do
You,
I
you
keep it in
can
mind?
tell us. Fine. You can tell us.
12:07.
Okay, so
12:07.
that's pretty accurate, correct?
Yeah.
Now, this was here the whole time. I want to do it super slow. You can see the time that I was setting my watch to is exactly 12.
He had turned his watch around and he had said, name a time. And I said 12:07. And he turns it back to me, which is the audience. And it does say 12:07. Sweet.
Exactly. It's amazing,
You,
huh?
you could argue that fans are the same everywhere around the world, but you have a special connection with your Indian fans. What
Yes,
is it that's
definitely.
unique about Indians?
Well,
We grew up with magic. Some of our greatest magicians, like PC Sarkar and PC Sarkar Jr., are legends, part of folklore. But like you said, you're not a pure magician, you're more of a mentalist, but that is still quite intriguing. So, talk me through the experience of the Indian fan.
well, the first time I came to India, I was very, very intrigued and amazed because I loved, I saw how warm the people are. They came to the show. I love that when you express the wonder, it's like, people were like, oh my God, and they were like going crazy, and it was amazing. And for me, this is the fuel for the shows, the reactions of the people. The reaction were great. The attention was great. People were amazed. People were blown away. I think that was part of the reason why I came back to do more shows. I did lots of private events, corporate events. I did lots of ticketed shows. I did some television here and there. Um, I also met a few years ago. I met Prime Minister Modi, and I did something on him when he was completely blown away and he was amazed. And I felt that there was a very good connection between the stuff that I do, which is a little bit, you mentioned magic before. I think that the mental mind tricks are a little bit more sophisticated or intellectual than just to show you a card trick or something like that. And it was really, really good connection with the Indian people. That's why I keep coming back and keep trying to figure out a way to come back. Now I'm coming back, but virtually full force, which is amazing.
So, Lior is on the 9th of August, and
Yes.
tickets are at insider.in for those of you who want to watch this amazing mentalist. So, tell me about meeting Prime Minister Modi. What did you get him to do? It must have been quite an experience.
I'm trying to find right now I think I have a picture here somewhere. And I think, and I will show it to you in a second. I met him through a mutual friend, and it was very, very nice. And there you go. See? Can you see?
Lovely.
Yeah, I love
So,
the picture, right?
tell me how it went. What did you ask him to do, and
I, I,
how
I
did it
was.
flow?
We had a coin. I told him to hold the coin in his hand, and the coin began to bend in
Wow.
his hand, which was pretty amazing. He was very happy. He was very amazed to see what I do. Let me tell you a little bit about what's going to happen on the 9th on the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have a broadcast for everyone who joins into the broadcast. They're gonna get a special link and they can join in and watch the show. And what's gonna happen? There's gonna be like three kinds of acts. One would be getting people, random people from the audience, really like, just like me and you, and talking and personally. It can be one or two or 10 or 20 people at the same time and do something with them that will affect everyone, will be amazed. Some of the acts will actually literally be for everyone. So I always tell to people to bring a spoon, fork, and knife from their home. If they have a deck of cards, bring it. Have a marker and a pen, and we got a marker and a paper, because we're going to do some interactive stuff at your home. So bring the children and the family wherever you can to the screen. If you can, connect the screen to the TV. And we're going to do, it's going to be something that will blow their minds. It's really going to be, I've done many of those in different studios. I created like a home. Basically, it's getting people into my living room. I'm doing the hospitality and blowing their minds through the screen. People will be amazed. People will laugh. People will scream. People will be say, "Oh my God!" And it's going to be lots of fun. So I really expect
So
many.
Lior, I've got a pen and paper here with me. You want to do
Yeah.
something?
Well, we already did the two acts. I don't want to expose more
Fair
acts. So
enough. Fair
you
enough.
have to join us on the 9th of August to be blown away. I think it's fair.
Mentalists never tell, like they say, magicians never tell. So listen, it's been an interesting year for you. You went on the Ellen DeGeneres show. Is that it? Talk
Yeah,
about that. That must have been spectacular. I mean, it's such a popular show worldwide.
yeah. I've been in many popular shows all over the world. I've been on the Tonight Show, and the Late Show, and different shows. The Ellen DeGeneres show was a peak on my career because it's a really very successful show. Millions of people are watching, and the act that I did there was very sophisticated. If the viewers and the listeners just Google it and watch, I did a crazy emoji act with all the people in the audience, and she was very nice. She was very nice and kind, and I think she was shocked. That's why she couldn't express it. She was like shocked with wonder, and I can't wait to maybe come back once there. I miss flying a lot. I used to fly 1 or 2 times a week. So once the flights will be okay, I guess we'll start flying all over the place and keep doing many adventures and TV shows.
One thing that's common between the Israeli people, there's lots in common, but one thing is elections. You know, we're very hung up about election results and going to the polls and ballots and things like that. And you predicted that once in an election in Israel, in Tel Aviv. Tell us about that. That sounds really fascinating.
Well, when I have this intuitive, sometimes I have these intuitive skills, and what I did, I wrote whatever I think will be the outcome of the elections, and I closed it, put it in an envelope. We gave it to a famous reporter, to a famous channel in Israel network. They put it inside a safe in a mall, so where nobody can touch the safe with a guard. And it was there for like 2 weeks before the elections. And when the election was over, we came back to the safe. Of course, I was not even there. I was just in the studio. They opened the envelope, and I was like 95% accurate about everything that I wrote down. And it was really amazing.
And touring with Barbara Streisand, she's such a diva. I mean, that must have been quite an exceptional experience. Talk about those heady days.
So I met Barbara with a mutual friend in a restaurant, and we became very good friends. And we decided she invited me to perform with her in her tour. I found myself performing in front of 20,000 people every show in a big auditorium. It was like big stadium. It was unbelievable. I had to create that. This is part of the thing that I do is being creative and invent myself all the time. So I had to create acts that will be working in front of 20,000 people. Now I have to create acts that will be working through the screens. So, And then I found myself doing a 10 shows tour with Barbara Streisand. I think she's the best of the best of the best. She's really amazing. And we toured the United States and we did amazing, spectacular shows, and the audience loved it. It was amazing.
Lior, you know that you'll bring yourself much closer to Indian hearts when you involve yourself in some cricket. Though, as a
Yes.
kid growing up in Israel, I'm sure you didn't even know about the game. And you predicted the outcome of a very important 2020 game. Talk about that.
I was in Australia a few years ago. I did a big show at the Opera House in Australia, in Sydney. And there was it was called the 2020, right?
Yeah,
2020
20
or
overs, 2020. Yeah.
2020, and it was India versus Australia. And again, again, I just had the intuition. It's something that you cannot come to me and tell me right now, okay, guess who's going to win in this game, or try it. It's only when I have like intuitive thing. I went there and I went to the biggest TV show in Australia, and people can Google it, by the way. You can find it on YouTube, you can see it. And I was there, and again, I put it in an envelope because I wasn't sure. I gave it to the anchorman. And after the game, I actually predicted exactly how many balls, exactly on the ball, exactly how many balls, and who's going to win. And it was really, really spectacular because I didn't even know all the rules of cricket.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
didn't
how
know.
do you do it? Is it just intuition, a gut
It was
feeling? What is it?
a combination of intuition, gut feeling, calculating the odds, and all of that. And I had this feeling.
So a lot of it is mathematics, is it? How good were you with numbers when you were a kid?
I'm pretty good with numbers, but it's more now. It's more all about mathematics of the brain because as I see it, when I look at people, I understand how they think and why they think. I always say to people, I don't know what you're thinking. I know how you're thinking, and if I know how you're thinking, I can maybe manipulate your minds. I always do it for the good and for fun and for positive reasons, and that's why I do the shows. Only for fun and for people to be blown away.
But three of the biggest tennis players currently are Roger Federer, Novak Djokovic, and Rafael Nadal. Such titans of the game, and you spent some time with Novak. Talk about that.
Yeah, yeah. Over the years, I've been traveling all over the world, so I find myself encounter many interesting people. Novak is an amazing person. Um, I met him and in a charity event. I did a charity event that uh, the Novak Djokovic charity event, a fundraiser, and we became friends. And we met again in Australia. I think it was basically the same time that there was the prediction of the 2020 game, the cricket game.
Hmm.
He came to my show. We became friends. He's a wonderful person, really, really smart and kind, and really great person.
And did you try any of your mentalism on him?
I always only when I meet new people, I always try to blow their minds. It's part of my hobby. I love to do it all the time.
So what did you do with him?
Well, lots of stuff, guessing names and numbers and lots of things that I'm going to do in the show on the 9th of August. There's going to be like name revelations and numbers and cards and I don't want to spoil too much, but people are really going to be blown away at home. The advantage is, by the way, is because it's virtual,
Yeah.
is that, right now you're talking with a computer, so you can have the whole family in the living room on one ticket. So it's kind of like nice little gesture.
Do you remember the first time you got involved in mentalism and you wanted to be a mentalist? Was it when you were a kid or was it much later? I know you did some compulsory service in the Israeli army as it is, as
Yeah.
it is the way in your country. But talk about your beginnings as a mentalist.
Well, I was always fascinated by how the mind works and how the brain works. And as a kid, I used to play mind tricks with people. I used to, hold a coin and guess who's holding the coin and play with a Rubik's Cube and try to solve it blindfolded. And try to guess someone's time like I just did to you with my watch. I always loved watches. I play with them, see how they work, how they tick. And I discovered that the human mind is similar to many people, and you can influence them to say something or to do something or to choose something if you say the right words, and if you know how to influence them or with the body language, you can see if someone is lying. I was always fascinated by that. I also love to perform a lot, so I I combined my two loves
Passions.
into one. Yeah, passions.
And when was the
And
first
start.
gig? How old were you when you did your first
I think I
performance?
was like, I think like what 12 or 13. I got like $10. They paid me $10 to do a show, and I did like a 2 hour show. When I did the shows in India, I think it was like 2.5 hours. It was crazy. Um, it was really really fun because I enjoyed it. So I kept going more and more and more and more, and I saw people blown away, and it was really really fun.
Lior, you have an online show called Gone Mental with Lior, and apparently you had Ben Stiller, who's one of our favorite comedians, Kate Hudson, who we really enjoyed in Almost Famous, all these great films. Talk about going mental with Lior.
Gone Mental is a show I've done. I did eight episodes. In each episode, we take a different celebrity. We had, as you said, we had Ben Stiller, we had Kate Hudson, Zoe Deschanel, the famous wrestlers from WWE. You know the wrestlers.
Yeah,
We had David Dobrik, who's a super famous blogger. We also have James Corden himself, and it was and Ludacris, the actor from Fast and Fury. And what happened? I came to their environment. So every episode, I came to their environment. So if Kate Hudson, it was in her house. Zoe Deschanel, because she's a musician, we went to a music store. Ludacris, we went to his caravan at the uh, movie set.
nice.
So, and what I did there, I don't want to say too much, but you have to watch it. I got everyone to be completely blown away, and everybody was so amazed and screamed. And I got the reactions into the next level. It was really, really unbelievable. It was
And
fun to see those people react like that.
and James Corden and you seem to have a special friendship. You've been on with James a couple of times, and you did
Yeah.
something really amazing with Harry Connick Jr. That particular aspect, you've got to talk about that.
Well, that was the first time. The first time I was on the Late Late Show, and I did the biggest. I think I did like the crazy biggest stunt. I told the entire audience, we had 200 people, and I told them to draw whatever they want, and I managed to influence all of them to draw the exact same thing, and it was a star. I also guessed Harry Connick Jr. pin code number, which was kind of nice, kind of funny.
Lovely. And the Jonas Brothers, my God, they become chart-busting sensations all over again. And one of the
Yeah.
brothers is married to PC Priyanka Chopra, who's our biggest star. So
Yeah,
you hung with
actually,
the Jonas Brothers. You really freaked them out. What was that about?
yeah. Well, we did another act. I'm trying to find something here. There you go. I think that there we go. This is some friends. Do you recognize some of them? This
Ah,
is
yeah,
Priyanka.
he's showing me a picture of
Yeah,
Priyanka Chopra there. Lovely.
yeah. So yeah, we met in an event in Europe, and she's amazing. She's kind. And then of course I met the Jonas Brothers in the Late Late Show. And of course, it was a big masterpiece with the piano and the audience and the Jonas Brothers, and it was really, really unbelievable. It was
You know,
really,
there
really amazing.
but did you get them to do something? I mean, what was the what
Lily,
did
you
they
have to
freak
watch
out
it.
with?
You have to write Lior Suchard, Jonas Brothers, and see. It's hard to explain it in words. It's a crazy, crazy masterpiece. It's really
Leo,
amazing.
there are the big stadium and arena shows that you've done. You've done all these amazing, and there are these intimate, small, one-on-one kind of shows. Which do you enjoy more?
Well, right now I'm enjoying the virtual shows, which is kind of fun because I have the advantage of doing it from my own home and still amaze people. Of course, I miss to touch people and to hug people. I'm a very I'm a warm hugger, and I think that every show has its own aspects. It has its own fun. If you have a big, huge show, it's a big theatrical show. If you have an intimate show, you get to touch everyone. So every concept has its own ups and downs, and mostly ups in every concept.
Lovely. Listen, we can't wait for you to come down and stun us. Tickets are at insider.in, and go on to insider.in and book your show for Lior Suchard on the 9th. We really look forward to that, buddy. And
It's gonna
because I always try and check on what music you're into. What's on your phone? What are you listening to?
well, I love classic rock. I love Eric Clapton
Oh,
and Beatles and stuff like that. So that's what I love.
super stuff. Lior, thanks very much for talking to me, and cheers, mate. See you on the show. Bye bye.
My friend, namaste, and see you all in the show. See you soon.